show 5 days a week, but I'm gonna need someone else to do it today.
Hi, my name's Julia, and I'm so happy to be taking over the Empowered Traveler show today. Thank you so much, Laura, for doing this. This is an amazing idea. And I'm going to get right to it and say that I'm here today to talk to you about something that is so passionate to me. It's the reason I started traveling, and it is traveling as a traveler. So I actually started kind of a blog about it. My blog's called The Traveling Traveler, and what that means is that you're a healthcare traveler or a tech traveler, whatever kind of traveler you are, but you're doing it because you want the freedom and flexibility to travel, and not just for work, but to be able to work and then take time off and travel outside of work. So that's something I'm so passionate about, and in the 8 years I've been traveling on and off, I visited over 10 countries, and this year alone in 2017 I worked 9 months and then traveled for 3. So I've made a lot of mistakes along the way as far as kind of balancing both, but I'm here today to share with you the wisdom and tips I have that I did learn over the years. So for me, I realized that traveling outside of work, meaning working contracts, then taking time off to travel, what it really boils down to is you need to be good at planning and saving. And I mean money, because everything we do takes money, especially not working takes a lot of money, and traveling takes money. So here are my tips to kind of maximize both ends of the spectrum. First, when you're looking for a job and you know that you want to take time off to travel, look for a job knowing that you want to maximize money. So look for jobs in those higher paying states like the West Coast, higher paying settings, and maybe in areas that have a lower cost of living. Or look to minimize your housing expenses by having roommates. Look to minimize any expenses. I don't have a fancy car, fancy stuff. My life is very minimalistic, and it's because I use the money I make to be able to afford the trips I take, and that's what's personally important to me. So it's hard to kind of balance having everything, is what I'm trying to say. Then once you're finding that great job or assignment and you're saving, you need to plan how long is it going to take to have the money you need to not work, and is that not working time a month, 2 months? You need to budget your expenses, and there's different apps that you can use to budget and figure out, okay, how much money do you need and how much time is it going to take you to get to that? Normally I work 6 or 9 months and then take 3 months off or 2 months off, and often I actually work those 6 or 9 months at one contract, because I also find that taking a new contract, whether I really want it to or not, I lose about $1,000 every time I switch jobs. And I don't mean actually paying out that money, but by not working, maybe just having to drive my car from here to there, taking time off, it costs money to switch jobs. Or you are not cost money, but you're not making money. So I tend to work longer contracts to be able to save the money I need to take time off. Now, what do I do for health insurance? Well, I'll tell you what I do, and then some other options. Personally, I use my agency's health insurance for my personal insurance, and then when I don't work, I go on COBRA, which by law, your company has to offer you COBRA when your assignment ends. And what COBRA means is that you're basically taking the plan that your agency gave you, but you're able to pay for it 100% out of pocket. So it's your same health insurance, you're just paying the whole premium instead of sharing the burden with your agency. Another thing you can do is buy your own health insurance plan all year, or if you're under 26 or married, you can get on your family's plan. Now, some agencies will offer you to extend your health insurance in between contracts. So if you leave an agency for a contract and then agree to work another one for them, sometimes they'll extend your health insurance 2 weeks or a month in between contracts. Now, that's something to ask your agency, because really the extension, it depends on what health insurance plan they have. But if you're working for an agency that'll offer you health insurance for 30 days in between contracts, heck, you might be able to book a great 3-week trip, come back, work a job, and then never lose your insurance. So something to think about. Other things to think about, One thing I've used heavily in my travels, and there's a whole realm of information on this, there's literally thousands of people probably who blog about this, it's using credit card miles and points for free travel. And I can talk about that so much, but I'm just gonna say I sign up for credit cards, get huge bonuses in points. I pay off my credit cards every month. I don't carry balance. And because of those credit cards and the points, I've gotten free flights to Thailand, free flights to Mexico, LA, Las Vegas, you name it, I've probably flown there for free because of signing up for credit cards. Something to consider if you're a responsible person who can pay off your credit cards every month. You might be a candidate to benefit out of rewards miles. Another thing to think about is if you're going to travel alone or with a group or with another traveler. So I've done a lot of different things. I've traveled by myself. I've traveled by myself, but then I've gone to schools in different countries. Like I've taken months worth of Spanish classes in Costa Rica and Mexico. I'm now fluent in Spanish, and I've gone to schools there. I went to a web development class in Bali. So even though you're alone by going to school, you have a sense of community, and personally I like that. There's also a lot of group tours that offer solo travelers the ability to travel in a group. I've done a bunch of them. Intrepid Travel, done them, they're all ages. Gate 1, all ages. Contiki Tours, they're limited 18 to 35 and tend to be known more as the party tour group. I did them in Europe when I was quite younger, maybe like 22, 23, fun at the time. G Adventures also does group tours, so there's a lot of places you can go to have a group to travel with. So even if you're, technically alone, you're in a group. Quite frankly, I've been thinking about even running my own tours. So if that's something you'd be interested in, shoot me a message, say yes, I would love that. Or if you hate it, say no way, love the feedback. So yeah, you can travel alone, you can travel alone but with groups, alone but go to schools. You can travel with other travelers, and I've totally done that. You can travel with anybody. One of my favorite trips was I got to go on a 2-week river cruise with my mom, and when she turned 65, and we almost have never traveled together. So there's so many options out there of who to travel with, where to go. And this awesome travel healthcare lifestyle gives us the flexibility to do it. So I would love answering more questions. I know it's kind of a short video and I could talk forever, but thanks for having me, and here's to a wonderful year of travels in 2018. Thank you.
Hey Julia, thanks so much for letting me stay warm today and being our first traveler who did the Traveler Takeover Thursdays. You can find Julia at her blog. It's such a great resource, and it's called The Traveling Traveler. And also, if you are a therapist that is traveling, join her Facebook group. It has over 6,000 members. It's growing all the time, and it's called Travel Therapy Therapist on Facebook. And if you like this show, just subscribe below, click the like button, and we will see you next time.